when last we left off, our intrepid heroes, if we can call them heroes, denizens, degenerates, people trying to accomplish something, learned of the intended fate of Princess Cunningham and have taken it upon themselves to try and break this cycle, this curse that seems to be taken across the land. They have learned of Strahd, who seems to visit death upon them in their dreams. And they had awoken with a start the day before, just this morning, with all of them experiencing their death. Having had this shared memory, shared dream, shared experience, something of them being slaughtered mercilessly by Strahd, the vampire lord who reigns over Ravenloft. And in the small town of Barovia, they have been finding allies, weapons, tools, things to aid them in their quest to bring this Dark Lord down, though they're in the bit of a moral quandary in the process of bringing this Dark Lord down. Because if he is destroyed, if Strahd is truly ended, then everyone that they have encountered, everyone that they have known within this land will cease to be. And while they mull over this particular decision, they heard the telltale sign of horse hooves on cobblestone streets as they looked out and they saw several knights in blackened armor looking around. And they heard a barreling sound of a raspy voice wheezing beneath a dark cloak, beckoning those within the town, tell him and his men where the outsiders are. And when last we left, they were bolting for the back door of the Raven's Eye Inn. And we find them heading out the back door, the rain pouring down on them, that wet, moldy smell that fills all of their senses. One of them chances to look behind, and one of the knights turns and looks. Its eyeless slit in its helmet, staring, each of you in turn feeling its eyes reach you, see you. And as it does, we frickin' welcome in Jay and Lord Gazumba and those raiders who are coming to help the Vampire Lord hunt down these heroes. And we just got a whole bunch of reinforcements. Y'all are screwed.
Motherfucker. Welcome in, Jay.
Works.
Hi, everybody.
That's not how that works.
Thanks so much for that resub, Jay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're here for. They came in as they're searching for you. And one of the knights have found you, and he calls forth from the mighty Lord Gazumba all of his followers to come and find you as well. I hate to break it to you guys, but them's the breaks.
I don't believe you.
Cool. Roll initiative.
I don't
Holy
want
fuck.
to do that.
Straight out the gate.
This initiative is basically going to determine whether or not you get to act first or the knight gets to act first.
I rolled a 13.
Oh, good for you.
I got a 15 on the die.
Okay, cool. What'd you get there, Mr. Cleric?
I got
20.
a 14 and I don't think I have any modifiers.
All right, cool beans.
You got a 20. Actually, it's so crazy.
So crazy. so crazy. We're gonna...
Yeah, I don't have any modifiers, so it's 14.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use one of my advantages on this.
Can I use one of mine?
Well, I used an advantage and I got a 19, so feel free to try and beat my 19.
Do you think it's worth it?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna save it. That's okay. Use up your advantages. You know what, Kurt? By all means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will use my advantage because I know that a bull will keep me well stocked.
Oh my god. You son of a
Jesus
bitch.
fucking Christ. We're all Muppets, and this is the funny episode.
No, this is about to not be funny. So as you are running, the knight looks and you see its eyes flash red, and you hear emanating in this metallic sound from its helmet. Intruders. As it turns and it starts to starts to run towards you, its heavy armor clanking, but it doesn't seem to be deterred. It doesn't seem to be slowed by this full plate armor that it's wearing, and it is coming at a sprint. The four of you running as quickly as you can. You chance over and look. You see the knight pull something from his belt, some sort of an orb of some kind, and pulling it out and reaching his arm back like he's fixing to throw it, as you see them drop from a rope and begin to spin. Continuing on in your dead sprint, you look back. Everybody's accounted for. Look back once more. Bjorn's gone. As you continue running.
Is there more coming, or can we...
It's just him. That's it. You guys.
Oh no,
look back
I
for
was
a
wondering
moment.
if there was more
No,
narration.
you look back, and Bjorn was there, and then you look again, and Bjorn's gone.
I pumped the brakes on. Like, where'd the Bjorn? Where the hell did the dwarf go? Jeebus?
How far have we ran at this point?
You've run approximately 45 feet.
We're outside now, like on
You
the
are
street.
outside. You are in an alleyway behind the Raven's Eye and several other, what you assume are residential or other small businesses.
Has he stopped entirely?
The knight?
Yeah.
No, the knight is pursuing, and he's whipping that bola around like he's fixing to loose it at you.
I think she reaches out, Altera reaches out and clasps Rune's wrist when she sees him trying to stop, and kind of she's going to try to yank you along, saying, "We have to go."
Where did Bjorn go? He was here just a second ago. Did he take was there a door we didn't see with...
Perhaps he dipped into another alley.
All right, I keep pumping.
Can I cast a spell as I'm running?
Depending upon the type of spell you're trying to cast, which one, because some of them require you to be kind of stationary to kind of focus.
Right. Let me read this real quick. Ooh. I'm trying to cast mirror image.
I'll tell you what. Roll me a d10.
Okay. That is a 6.
Okay, so you managed to cast it on the run. You don't actually have to stop, which mirror image would normally require you to do, to stop and plant yourself for that mirror image to come out. As you continue to run, this second copy of you just kind of pulls from your body, and then there it is next to you.
I would like to do something.
Go ahead.
I would like to first say to my companions, keep running, I'll find you. And I would like to try and rule of cool this, Kurt, if you will. So he's spinning that thing around.
The bola, yeah.
The bola. I would like to try and fire my slingshot at it, to knock it out of its hands.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to use an advantage to re-roll that, and I'm going to use a different die.
Go ahead.
Absolutely fucking worth it. It was a 19 on the die.
What your damage? It's a sling, right?
Yeah.
Should be D3.
Well, can I do a D6 and have it?
D6. Yeah.
It's a 1.
So you manage to hit his hand, but the bola looses. Now I'm going to have you make a dex roll to avoid this, right? And the DC is definitely lowered for this, given the fact that you hit his hand and it wasn't a truly aimed thing.
Okay.
Basically, don't bungle it.
Okay, I'm going to use a different die, actually. That is a 16.
So you manage to duck your head just enough as the bola whips over you, and you see it wrap around a lantern pole behind you. But more importantly, as it does, and the two balls connect, right? It sends out an electrical discharge.
Okay. So I'm not like in range of this discharge, correct?
No, you very much get the impression that this would have, if landed correctly, would have subdued you in a single blow.
I think I like poke my little head up and I look back at that and I look back at this knight and I say, that was fucking close. And what I would like to do is I'd like to say to the knight, catch me if you can. And I am using everything I can to try and distract him from my other two companions, and I'm going to run in an opposite direction, like if I can cut down another alley.
Okay, so as you go to do this, your friends going one direction, you going another, right?
Mm-hmm.
You happen to, he takes the bait, right? And he begins to follow you, right? And at that, you see coming off of the back of him, right? The cracks within his armor begin to give a red glow. And in that moment, right, this armored knight looks at you and you hear this deep, resounding laugh within the armor that almost echoes within this steel, this knight, this machine of war, as it blurs, moving, catching up with you, side to side to side to side. I need you to make a strength roll.
That's not good. I'm not very good at that. That's actually not bad. It's at a -1 though, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 13 total.
I'm going to spend an advantage.
You son of a bitch.
All right. Okay. As you are running, dodging, hopping up over, right?
Mm-hmm.
The knight in this blurred form whips around to your side, and as you are vaulting over a box, its arm just juts straight out, and your body connects with it, bending over his arm as you take 2 points of damage, and the wind is a little bit knocked out of you. And you fall to the ground, and it just looks down at you. You dared to question and go against our lord.
I want it known that I wasn't questioning or going against anything. I'm just... Oh, God, that really fucking hurt. Oh, God. Okay, I'm fine. I was just running. So, really, this is on you. Fuck you.
On the other alley, you guys see, looking over your shoulder, you guys see your friend running down the aisle, running down the alleyway, right? And you see this knight blur, right? And it looks as though it's like you're watching them move, but it's them chopped up, right? Like as they're moving, just like you're looking at a bunch of still individual pictures of it as it moves from the side, catching up, bouncing back and forth along the alleyway, trying to get its best vantage before it whips around in front and sticks its arm out. And you see your friend basically bend in half over its arm as it looks down. The rain pouring down, you can't quite make out what it is that it's saying, but you very much see a very small little hand just in defiance.
Hey, stop again. We got to go back. There's just one of them. We can take him.
How far is he from us?
About 60 feet.
I'm gonna hit him with a magic missile.
Go ahead.
I'm going to start running in that direction.
Now I gotta remember how many of these I get. 4. Because I don't have to roll for this, right? It's automatic hit, magic
Correct.
missile, yeah. Alright, let's do that. Boom. Sorry.
You're good.
Alright, that is... Oh, I had a really good roll there. That's 17 points of damage total.
Fucking A. All right.
Yeah, I had like almost all 4s.
Fucking A. All right. So, as you're laying back, right, and you see these bolts fly through the sky, and it hits 1, hits 2, hits 3, right? They hit on this armor, and it turns and it looks as it takes the various bolts hitting it from this magic missile. And as it does, it falls to the ground, and its armor almost not quite explodes, but erupts off of him. And you see his body there twisted, patchwork, plates of steel covering portions of his body. One whole arm looks to be something of clockwork in nature. Weapons hidden within it. As you look down and you just hear him coughing, blood spurts up through the slit in the helm, and it looks like he's struggling to sit up.
I'm running over. Can I just like come swooping in and bash him upside the head with my Morningstar?
Depends upon what Bones is going to do.
I want to see his face. I want to take that helm off.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to hinder.
Well, no, you'd probably be able to flip that off, but you're only going to get a chance glance at him before Rune is going to come in with that mace.
Yeah, I want to try and rip that helm off first.
Okay. I need you to roll me a percentile, and I will have Bleak roll me a percentile.
57.
All right, Bleak, what did you get?
56.
Okay. All right. So you get the helmet up and off, right? And you see this face look at you. Its lower jaw removed, and only a steel plate that looks to be there, where flesh would normally be. Rot setting in on his face, the skin looking pale, pallid, dead, decayed. And a faint glow in his eye. Something behind those eyes powering it. Some sort of unknown sorcery. And it looks at you before it looks straight ahead. and you see the mace come crashing down, his head exploding in bone and viscera as the blood spurts up, this not coagulated, dark red, crimson, almost black in some cases, blood splatters across you and up along the mace and onto Rune's clothing.
I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm not fixing to hang around and find out if the others are like it. Come on, let's go.
Holy fucking shit. And I think she just sort of scrambles to her feet and starts to run back with you.
As we come back, I'm gonna look at Altera. I'm gonna say some kind of construct. I don't know, kind of like an undead mixed with some kind of struck parts. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it.
Strange land. There's no telling what horrors we will find here.
Yeah, stranger by the minute. I have no clue where Bjorn went, but I guess we'll find out later. Let's get ourselves out of here.
Yeah.
Great.
The remaining knights are still patrolling around looking, and you do see Radigan standing there looking around beneath his cloak, the light catching his eyes just so to show the sheen, the reflection off of them as he's looking. You guys look down from the alleyway to the central square, and you see him talking with a young blonde woman. Wearing a simple blue dress.
Does she look familiar?
She does. It's the storekeeper. The one who sold you all of your supplies. And she's talking to him. And you see the knights drag out Winston from his alchemical lab. And as they do, they drag him out, and you see his mask looking up. And at that, one of the knights walks over, looking at him, and draws a blade. This blade begins to glow with a brightness of red, almost looking like lightning coursing through it. And it drops down, splitting him in twain, falling onto the ground. And over the rain, you hear just a soft "Find them. They must not be allowed to corrupt any more of those around them."
We gotta get to that castle.
Question, DM.
Yes.
When I saw the Santi, were they outside of town on the way to the castle?
It is a way to get to the castle, yes. I would not say that it is the fastest route, but it is a route that you could go to get
Could
to
we
the
get
castle.
there safely without running into Radigan and his goons?
Probably not.
Okay.
But as you are looking around, trying to piece this together, figure out what to do, you see a small form pop out from an adjacent alleyway just across the street. Hooded. You hear, "This way. Come. Come this way. Safety. Come. Safety."
I think Altera looks to her companions.
Well, W know or W don't.
That or something else at this point. We don't have much choice.
Yep, let's go.
All right.
As you go, this small form, this way, safety, yes, safety. You must meet him. And he, like, this form is like bouncing between, like, you know, shipping box to shipping box, moving around, moving with the speed and grace of like a child. After a short while, he looks, the form looks left and right and pulls its cloak back, looks up, and you see this odd skull painted on his bronze skin, hair white, pulled back in a ponytail. Come, there. You must go there. There. Safety there. And you see him, he's pointing to a cemetery.
Hold on. Who are you? Who's him?
Him. Lord of Saturday. Lord of Saturday will help you.
Look at my two companions. That mean anything to you?
Does that mean anything to Altera? Anything she's read?
No. This does not sound of your teachings or your litany or your world.
Okay. Doesn't sound familiar now.
I'm not hanging around to find out whether it is or isn't. I'm not waiting for those assholes, so to the graveyard.
In there. And you see him gesture towards a, like, large stone mausoleum with the doors slightly adjacent. In there you will find the Lord of Saturday. Go now.
I want to say that you see a certain hesitation in Rune when you get to the edge of the cemetery. He, like, stops for a moment, and he seems to have, like, kind of a little internal moment with himself, and then he kind of visibly grits his teeth and moves forward into the cemetery.
And as you pass the cemetery gates, cue Pantera, the rain stops. You look behind you and you can see the rain still coming down steadily. But the moment you pass these gates, the rain stops. But the air has a smell on it, incense. You hear drum beats. And a very bellyful laugh. Who enters my domain? And the sound comes from the mausoleum. Come now. Don't be afraid.
I think she's just gonna go for it.
I'm still hesitating and kind of hanging back a little bit, clearly uncomfortable here.
I think Altera sees you pause, and she's also gonna stop next to you and turn. What's wrong?
Just bad memories.
Sorry to hear that.
I think it's probably the least of our worries right now. I'm just gonna have to get it together. Let Mata's already in there. We might as well go.
I'll walk with you.
Thank you.
She moves forward with Rune.
As you enter into the mausoleum, looking down, right? You see fires. You see what should be people here, but there are none. You just see bodies, corpses, shoved in catacombs on either side. As you walk down, you see a man, a large brimmed hat, open vest, cut up trousers, leaning back on a chair made of bone. What appears to be skeletal bones drawn in a white paint up his chest, up his neck. And from underneath the big brimmed hat, you see what amounts to be a cigar of some kind, puffing deeply. Oh. Who comes to see Saturday?
A friend.
Friend. I like friends. Come, sit. And as he gestures, right, bones begin to like manifest and materialize up out of the ground, and it forms a bench across from him.
Question, DM.
Yeah.
What size are the bones?
Large bones.
Damn it. Amada will take a seat.
Altera sits.
Yo.
Stan remains standing kind of near the door, still clearly uncomfortable.
You don't belong. You okay, friend? Try some. And he like throws like a water skin at you for you to catch.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Just watch it drop to my feet.
You know, bad form to refuse a gift.
It's bad form not to leave the dead where they belong.
I couldn't agree more. But sometimes things that be discarded can be quite useful if you put them together in the right order.
Who are you? What do you want with us?
Just a traveler like yourself. Come here to find some things. Rumor has it they're in the castle. I obviously can't go by myself. But I found a little haven here where all that which is discarded is collected. And I make use of it.
Why can't you go in the castle?
They know me. They know what I'm about, and I, for whatever reason, can't get past their people at the door.
Why doesn't it rain here?
It doesn't rain because I don't want it to. Because in this little area, I take what's discarded, and they don't remember it, and it's only an afterthought. But here, deals get made.
What is it that you want with the castle? I don't peg you as someone who's got full-on altruistic motives.
Peg me, you just met me. No, I want the skull out of that castle.
Well, good luck with that.
Why? You could get it for me.
Whose skull?
A great dragon skull. And like as he does, and his head cocks back, you see that he has a skull painted over his face, skin blackened where the bone painting isn't at, large black rimmed glasses. But with this, and he throws a bag at you. You could fit it in there, and it won't weigh a thing.
Altera reaches down and picks the bag up.
It can take large things, large items, even entire libraries, and condense them down and fit in that little bag.
And why would we do this for you?
Because I want this place to end just as bad as you do.
Mm. Yeah, see, I got a problem with that one Saturday. You want us to go risk our lives for something like this, and for that, I need something more.
Are you trying to strike a bargain?
I'm always trying to strike a bargain.
I do love a bargain.
Be careful, Amada.
So here's the way I see it, Saturday. We've got a little bit of an upper hand. You're stuck here while we're able to get into that castle. What can you offer me? It's going to help us out.
I can offer you backup plan.
Oh, really? Humor me. What's this backup plan you've got?
You see him reach down into a box that doesn't appear to have anything in it. And he reaches down, elbow, and he pulls up an hourglass with a skull at the top and a skull at the bottom, femurs around it. I call this one Borrowed Time.
Okay.
One turn of the hourglass, and it'll buy you 10 seconds.
Not a lot of time.
Enough time to escape.
My only worry is that here you are with your fancy bags and your fancy hourglass and your fancy deals, and you're stopping the rain, and you're this, that, the other, and you can't get through the door there.
Like I said, because they know me.
They know us too.
But he still likes you. He still
does.
toy with you. Not me.
Why not?
He lost his interest long time ago.
How long have you been here?
400 cycles. And I would like to leave this place.
Do you mean moon cycles?
If that works for you, we'll say moon cycles. I'm a prisoner here, just like the rest of you. You've seen so many other prisoners, so many who have tried and failed. Well, I may not be able to go take care of it myself, but it looks like you all got the gumption. You just might need a tool or two.
Yeah, well, this will help.
Look over at Altera. I'm really not sure about making a deal with this guy.
How is us acquiring a dragon skull going to get you out?
Oh, that won't. It's just a little keepsake I'd love to have from this place. something that would help me in my world.
And what world is that?
Does it matter?
Just curious.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Does it matter?
Just curious.
Look, I'm willing to get the dragon skull if we can. Are you going to come hunt us down if we don't?
I wouldn't say I'd hunt you down, but I'd definitely be seeing you.
Will you, though? If we kill Strahd and this world ends, will you?
Do you mean after we're dead?
It's amazing how many things, no matter what world you go into, don't ever stay dead forever.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Rune spits on the ground, turns around, and says, I don't deal with things that have one foot in the grave.
But
He
you
starts
already
heading out.
do.
I know. I don't need reminding.
Hey, tell me something.
Stop.
You don't need reminding. Why you carry a rusty blade on your back?
It's not for the reminding. It's for the weight.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Anyway, since you two seem to be more agreeable to deals, that's all I ask. Just a little keepsake.
She looks at Altera. I can probably handle a little bit of theft.
Not sure I've ever killed a dragon before.
Oh, the dragon already be dead. It's just his skull that be sitting there.
Yeah, easy.
Where would
No
we
wrong.
find that?
Wherever the library be. It moves from place to place, but it's always in the library, where he likes to keep his treasures. Oh, did you not know that? Every time you enter the castle, it be changing its ways. Up is down, down is up. What's one room here, maybe another room there? Ain't no map of that place ever been real true.
Perhaps since you are a seemingly powerful wizard, you would have some way of us finding things inside the castle.
I do. But my question be, if I give you a way to find things within the castle, when everything's all said and told, you agree that you owe me?
We'll get your dragon skull.
What I'm offering you is worth more than a dragon skull.
And what would I owe you?
What is it that they say? There may come a time I call on you. And that time may never come, but if it do, you best answer. No matter what realm of existence you find yourself in.
I think she steals a look to Amada.
A word. I think very quietly she leans in to Altera. I've sold my soul to the devil once. I don't mind doing it again. Don't take the deal, I will.
She thinks for a moment and then looks back to the stranger. Lord Saturday. You have yourself a deal. And then she holds the bag up. Keep the bag too.
He just smiles real big. It go well with your outfit. But a deal's a deal. And he sticks his hand out.
She very hesitantly slides her hand into his.
He grips it. And as he grips it, a green-like energy transfers from his hand to yours as it bolts back and forth. And then he lets go, your hand instinctively recoiling as part of that energy still coursing around you. And you look at your hand, and the palm of it is a hastily burnt skull. Deal's a deal. Now, for what you be needing. He pops his hat down, and as he does, and you see this nest of rope-like hair that kind of falls down behind his neck. He reaches in, pulls out a clear orb. There you go. And he just pitches it like you would toss like a softball at somebody.
I think she holds the bag out to catch it in the bag.
It goes into the bag, but there's no weight to it once it hits the bag.
She looks pleased by this.
There's no catch in the bottom of the bag for it to be there. Now, you see him pull out another big fat cigar in his hand, and a flame comes out and he takes a long drag off of it. I'd be careful of your friend. He seems to be most interested in only himself and his fears. Be okay though. You two got spite. I look forward to the end of all things.
I think with this, she doesn't say anything to him and she just turns and leaves.
Almada sort of lingers for a moment.
Something more?
No, I'm just remembering your face. If you try and fuck my friend over, I want to know what it looks like when I'm peeling it off. And then she'll turn and leave.
Oh, don't worry, little one. If I'm fucking anybody, it'll be the one with the sticky fingers. No one likes a thief.
She just keeps walking.
As you exit out of the mausoleum, the door immediately slams shut. And there's again that belly-full laugh. Sinister in nature. As you're standing in the cemetery.
When you come out, I think you find Ruin a little bit off the side. He's planted this big old rusted two-handed sword he carries on his back into the ground. He's just kneeling next to it, and he's got his eyes closed, and his lips are moving as he's repeating some kind of mantra or something under his breath.
I think walking out, Altera's gonna reach into the bag and pull out the orb and inspect it. Is this something maybe she's seen before?
Probably not, to be perfectly honest. How versed is she in magical items?
I would assume that she has done quite a bit of studying, like reading and studying and knowledge are pretty important to her as a wizard.
Okay. All right.
I can roll for it if you would like.
Yeah, I would say on this particular item, right? Give me a percentage roll.
Percentage, all right.
Yep.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hello.
Hello, Raiders. We're just playing a little 2E Ravenloft right now, and they just met with a very mysterious man in the bottom of a mausoleum who gave him a whole bag of goodies.
That is a 92.
It is an orb of scrying.
Oh, beautiful. Can you give me just a brief on it?
You can, so through it, you can essentially ponder your orb, right? And in doing so, you can focus on a single target or thing, right? And if it is within its capabilities, it will show it to you.
Okay.
However, when viewing a person or a beast, a person or a monster, not a beast, it has to have a certain degree of intelligence. There is a chance it might notice you looking at it.
Okay.
So,
And is it kind of like a one-use thing?
No,
Oh. Does it have a cooldown?
it does. It has a certain number of times per day that you can use it.
How many times per day can I use this?
4 for this particular one.
That's pretty nice. Do I know how rare one of these is?
Exceedingly rare.
I think she kind of holds it up, and Almada, since you are kind of walking out behind her, you see her admiring it, and she'll kind of glance down to you. Says, quite rare indeed. Not sure if it's worth the cost, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, well, only one way to find out, I guess, and once we get to the castle.
I wasn't gonna let you take a deal for me, but I want you to know that I appreciate the offer.
Can I tell you something?
Anything?
I just really hope you know what you're doing. You don't want to be on the other end of a pole with a person like that. Trust me.
Well, I guess if things go awry, I can always see where he lives. And she, like, takes the orb and places it back into the bag and affixes it to her hip.
That's the spirit. And she kind of gives you like a little slap on the back of the arm. Next time, though, that I'm offering to make a deal for you, let me make the deal.
Next time.
I have no use for fancy orbs anyway. Unless I'm selling them.
And I think her attention shifts to Rune. Rune?
Rune finishes whatever he's muttering. Gets up.
You all
Deal's
right?
made.
Deal's made.
Okay. Takes the two-handed sword, puts it back on his back.
You never know. Maybe he wants to have a tea party after it's all said and done.
I don't know. This is a land where the line between the living and the dead is extremely thin, if not non-existent. What we just saw back there, that strange creature in the armor, Strahd himself. This is a place where the dead and living mingle in the way nature didn't intend. He obviously is someone who's very comfortable with that. My only fear is that he may be thinking that the whole kingdom would be better than living in a little mausoleum like he's doing right now.
Well, I took the deal, so no one else has to bear that burden.
Your choice.
All we gotta do is figure out what we want to do next.
Well, what I'd like to do is find Bjorn. Chances are he'll be up at the castle. If they haven't killed him.
Let's hope that they didn't find Bjorn and Bjorn just ran another way. Regardless, Bjorn knows where we're going, and they'll either meet us there, safe and sound and ready to go, or we'll find them inside.
Do we need a night of rest before we go in?
Could always use a little rest. I don't think there's any returning back to the inn, though.
I know a place, and if Bjorn's around, he might find us there.
Okay. Amada?
Fine with me. Got any ale?
No.
It's really disappointing.
It's been that kind of day. For the
Yeah.
past several weeks.
Yeah. Damn.
I'll take them to the church where I went earlier. With Bjorn.
Once again, as you pass through the cemetery gates, it is night outside, while in the cemetery, it was still day. The rain is still very much coming down as you pass through the gates. Looking back at the cemetery, though, you notice it's all gone. All the headstones, the mausoleum. Only a couple of graves are there now in this large sectioned off plot of land.
Even the dead don't lie fucking still in this place.
Lightning cracks across the sky, lighting up, giving you that brief glimpse of daylight. The town shadowed, the hill, the castle, growing taller in that flash of light. As you make your way back into town and you cross street by street, avoiding lamp lights to the old church. Once inside, you're met with that musk smell, that damp smell of the rain outside, the incessant dripping of water coming through cracks in the roof and ceiling, almost a fountain of water dripping down from what probably was a window at one point, but is now boarded up and over. And only a few candles are lit at a few particular gods' statues. Books, tomes, parchment, wet. But the altar itself seems to have been cleared off or tidied. And the faint glow that you have this night, knowing that this church is going to offer you a degree of comfort. But it will not necessarily offer you a night of rest.
I think oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think when we get in, Altera's gonna like find a place to sit down, and she's gonna start transferring like that huge sack of all those items that she had picked up at the general store and all of her items she has on her currently into the bag of holding. And getting that all sealed up and situated to kind of lighten her load, because she's not a very strong person. She's been carrying this shit around for a minute, and it is exhausting. She's even gonna take the empty sack and just throw it in this sack, and she's just like, you guys see her on the floor like sitting with like her legs out, and she's got like everything, she's like organizing it inside of this bag. Like her OCD is just like firing off at rapid rates right now.
think I'll try to build a fire, but I'll try to build it like in some way that it won't like, cast too much light or whatever on the outside sort of thing. Like maybe gets in an alcove somewhere where there'd be like an idol or something like that. Like just build a small fire and kind of lay out whatever food and drink we have to.
And you have enough. You have your rations and whatnot there. And while up near the priest pulpit, for this area is probably the driest. It's not exactly the most space, for lack of a better term. There's enough room for you each to sit or lay down, but there's not really enough room for you to truly spread out, so to speak. And in this small corner inside this somewhat abandoned building, you all begin to eat, drink, reflect on the day. Each in turn lost in your various tasks, whether it be sharpening your daggers, reciting a small prayer, inventorying ad nauseum your supplies and items. Well. It seems you've gotten some assets.
What in the wild world of gods?
Then at that, you see a wizard sitting there by the fire, holding onto his staff. An hourglass comes and he sits it out. You've been doing pretty well. Where's your... Huh. Did Bjorn die?
We lost him. We're not sure where he's at. We're hoping he'll find us.
Lost him? How did you lose him?
Yeah, 1 minute it was there, 1 minute he wasn't. We were being pursued by some kind of undead construct thing.
Oh, that happens sometimes.
But does it?
Sometimes when the weight of this world can lean on people a little too hard, and sometimes their constitution doesn't hold out.
So what, he's dead, he's gone?
No, that's not necessarily to say that he is dead and gone. At least I hope. But you never can be too sure with this particular place of what is truly dead, as you yourself have pointed out many, many times in my observations. Nothing here is truly dead, right?
Uh-huh. What about Saturday?
He and his kind can be useful, but tread lightly if you decide to deal with them. They may find out more about you than you wish for them to know.
I think Altera's eyes kind of drift to the floor in a look of maybe mild embarrassment. I made a deal with him.
Well, let's just hope he never collects.
We need all the help we can get.
This is true, and I am going to help you. So one thing that you need to know, the current configuration. He has brought something new into this world. Some sort of improvement on his security. Something no one has quite seen before. And more importantly, time is very precious. You must get the shard from him. Or at a very minimum, stop him from wedding the princess. If either happen, and you see him blink for a minute, and then he blinks back. And you see him looking around. My ability to stay here grows harder and harder each time I come. Every time that I come here, it feels as though those powers that be seem to find me faster and faster. Anyway, when going to the castle, take the sewer entrance. That is vital. Sewer entrance is your back door into the castle. From there, you will have to dodge many of his securities, some of which have been enhanced, and some I've never even encountered before. He's in league with devils of some kind, as now demons roam his halls regularly. When there, it may be easy and more desirable to try and stand up and fight everything that comes your way, but it is not there to truly stop you. It is only there to slow you down. You are there, make sure that you're choosing your battles wisely. More importantly, make sure you choose the ones that will advance you faster than slow you down. Also, beware the Watcher's gaze. There are 3 that float from place to place, scanning each room. Do not be caught in a room when one of the Watchers shows to scan it. You will be found. Unless you find some way to make yourself invisible to them. And as he's saying these things, each of you in turn, you've heard this before. His words sound familiar. The brevity of them, not so much. But you've heard a little bit more of a long-winded version of this. Him telling you where to go, things to be aware of, what to watch out for. And as he says them, that familiarity grows and grows. However, your equip, something the dwarf would normally say at this point, seems to be the only thing missing. What would Bjorn say? If you know so fucking much, why don't you go yourself? But he's not here. And he continues on, going over thing left, right. If you find yourself within his chambers, do not disturb the sarcophagi. That is his cycled lineage, whatever you call it. And if you do find Radigan, stop him. He and his brother are far more powerful together than they are apart. I would tell you to leave at first light. Time is of the essence. You see him wave an arm. And as he does, you see Princess Cunningham, again, sleeping inside that glass coffin. There is time to save her. But remember, the shard is the most important thing. Capture that shard and you can put an end to all of this. And I can get you home. And he blips out. The hourglass that he normally carries. topples over and breaks on the stone beneath you. The sand pouring out, mixing with the water, creating a mud. You all find yourselves inside the church. Your advisor, having just blinked away after giving you all this information that in the back of your minds was very much like it was like this, you've heard this before, you've seen this before, you've had this conversation before. The deja vu is very much like almost bombarding you, but at the same time there's little pieces that are different, little small variances to the things that he's saying. And as he blinks away and his hourglass falls to the ground, shattering, the sand within mixing with the water, turning the white sand into a black mud, you're left there in that moment. The thunder roaring outside, the church itself lighting up periodically as the lightning streaks across the sky and turns night into day. What do you wish to do for the remainder of the evening?
Is it just me, or is it the more people try to help us, the less helped I feel?
Funny, isn't it?
There are certain cultures, religions, gods that believe in the idea of reincarnation, where once you die, you come back, and not in the sense of undead rising from the grave, but that once you have lived a life, you get a new body and you return either to live something different or live the same thing again, whatever. It feels kind of like that, like not only are the dead actually rising from the graves here, but the souls also come back continuously. This unending cycle, this wheel.
That dream. Do you think it was real? Do you think that we're already dead?
I don't know. I feel like there are two things at play. One, there's the body. Two, there's the soul. And most of us go through our lives without one. We try to find it again. We try to reclaim it somehow. And I feel like perhaps this place is not really about the physical. This may be a kind of hell or a place of punishment for the soul, that we're not really physical, we're not actually here. It's just our souls wandering around,
Like a prison.
taking form. And kind of penance.
Do you know why you wander then? Because if that's true, I can tell you I don't know why I wander.
The only thing that keeps me willing to keep moving forward is that I've died once before. I used to be much like yourself, a sorcerer. And I had an encounter with the being from another world that attacked me directly in my brain and rendered me unable to remember spell formulas and such. But for a brief moment, in the wake of the attack of this creature, I was dead. I know I was. It took a while for me to come back, but I don't know why, but I knew I was dead, and it wasn't like this. It felt like being trapped inside my own body while something else had control of it. Some kind of monstrous force that made my body do things that I could only sit back and watch in horror as it did. It felt like a prison. This feels different. And so, whatever this is, I am willing to assume that it's not death, because I've faced death, I've undergone death, I've experienced death, and it wasn't like this. So, whatever this is something different. And only death is inescapable. And so I keep hoping that this means that there is a way for us.
And let us keep that hope alive.
Why do you keep doing it? Looking at Almana, you don't strike me as someone who's had much to do with hope in the past.
Sure, I've got hope. I think my hope just looks a little bit different than yours. I don't need religion or penance to have some sort of hope. I've got the promise of something big on the other side, I think.
The other side, you mean when you die?
For when I live. Another score.
Then life becomes just a series of score, and there's no end game. There's no end. There's no finality to it. It's just one score after the other until the scores evaporate and you fall into your grave.
Isn't that true for everyone? Isn't
No.
everybody just looking to get their next win?
I think some people try to build something.
That's a win. That's a score.
Yeah, but the goal is to not have to keep taking scores after. It's to be able to sit back and enjoy them.
That's bullshit. Everyone takes scores. Just looks different for some people. My score happens to be monetary. Your score? Make whatever peace you have with your god. Don't tell me that we're not all just chasing one last thing. One last score. If you tell me otherwise, I'm going to tell you you're a liar. And you're lying to yourself if you think that you're telling the truth. You can sit high and mighty over there, Rune. I don't give a shit. At least I'm honest with myself.
Yeah, Altera. That keeps you going.
I guess hope, knowledge, perhaps the hope for more knowledge. And she looks up towards the direction where the castle would be sitting, looming on that mountain. Who knows what's locked away in there? Centuries upon centuries of knowledge and lore. Even Lord Saturday said saw all sorts of stuff in there. And the wizard knew things that even he hasn't seen. I want to see it all. I want to know what makes it tick. And I want to know what breaks it.
The only problem with all of this is that in the end, There's only room for one thing in your grave, and that's your dead body. If you don't have the time to enjoy your gains or have the time to enjoy the knowledge you've accumulated, if all you do is hunger for more and more and more and more,
See, that's where you're wrong. All of that would be for nothing. Have you ever considered for once that the value only increases the excitement? That it's not about what I have when I'm dead. It's already spent. But at least I can say I fucking did it.
and who's going to remember that? You won't. You're not some sort of long-lasting memory that's going to keep on living and remembering things long after you're dead.
No, but I can die satisfied that I didn't pussyfoot around. That I put the work in.
If you do things big enough, you don't have to remember. Others will do it for you.
There you go.
That's the key to immortality.
There you fucking go.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to lay down and get a little bit of rest. And you see her, like, roll out a bedroll.
I think Almada's gonna sort of scrounge around this temple looking for any ounce of church wine.
I
Roll
love
me a
her.
percentage. Roll me a percentage on that one.
I want church wine. 62, baby.
You find a wax-sealed, unopened bottle of red.
Amazing. Almada makes quick work of the wax seal and uncorking it.
And when it does, you can tell that this is very aged.
Does it smell a little bit like vinegar by chance?
Almost.
Shit, I gotta drink this now. And Amada's just gonna start taking big, healthy swigs.
There is absolutely nothing healthy about the swigs that you take in this particular moment. As you drink down this sacrament wine, this wine that was used to bless people, this wine that was used to bring about faith and belief, that belief in yourself, that truth that you know, that regardless of what happens, as long as you're remembered in the afterlife, that's all that matters. And you dream a blissful dream, sipping on this wine, the next last big score, and going down in an absolute blaze of glory, and a faceless individual seeing it, knowing that they will tell others, and that your name will live on and on. You will gain one advantage. This advantage is a DM's advantage. This is an automatic success of which you will have for any one roll that you may use it for, regardless of difficulty.
Okay.
I'm not gonna track that on your advantages.
I'm gonna make a note.
Yeah, just let me you let Gerd know when you use that one specifically so I don't mark it off your advantages.
You know she's going to use it to find more booze.
Or steal something.
The temptation is there.
That's good shit.
Thanks very much, Kurt. That's very nice.
Really powerful RP is very much rewarded.
I'm just telling the truth.
As the night progresses on, you find what rest you can, what sleep you can. And the dawn, or what amounts to the dawn, begins to creep in through the light, through the cracks in the windows, through the boards. And the rain seems to have dissipated, but it's still wet, damp in the air. Gathering your things, looking around, what do?
I'm assuming Almada woke up feeling very spry this morning.
You know, she does, ironically enough.
I think I sort of just pop up and start gathering up the rest of my things. I sort of take a once over on that bottle of wine, as if I'm trying to remember the name or the maker or any sort of symbol. Can I find this again?
It was an unmarked bottle.
Pretty good wine. Maybe I should come to church often.
Do I recover any spells during this rest?
Yes, you have rested long enough to recover spells.
Okay, cool. Beautiful. Yeah, I think Altera is just collecting her things, rolling her bedroll back up, doing a double check on her new bag of holding, making sure everything's still nice and organized in there.
Everything is there. Everything is good to go. Rune, where do we find you in this morning?
I think Rune has gotten what sleep he could get out of the situation, and at this point just feels like there's nothing left to say or do. It's just about getting there. So I think he's probably sitting outside pretty early, all this stuff ready to go on the front steps, just keeping an eye out and looking up at the castle, and I think really kind of wondering if it's going to reset again this time and what he's going to do if that happens, because the idea of this being some kind of purgatory or some kind of prison in some ways really sticks with him, and he's trying to kind of find a sideways way to come at it that doesn't include just constantly doing the same thing, you know. That definition of insanity being to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, kind of thing.
As you're sitting on this stoop, taking in these thoughts, you being the first one outside, the thick, heavy fog of the day has rolled through the town. Hard to see very far. But you can hear people moving about. But above that fog, as you look up into that very dark gray sky, you see the castle. That waiting objective. And as you also realize something you found as you were going out, just a few pages of an old tome to a forgotten god. Never underestimate an old man in a profession where people die young. It is important that those that endure guide those of the foolhardy to the tasks that are best set for them. Because the foolishness of youth will make them believe they can do anything. And it is the elder, the wizened one, who must temper that foolhardiness so that they may achieve greatness.
I think he reads those notes. He'll fold them up, put them in under his armor.
You hear the rustling inside, bedrolls being rolled up, the distinct sound of a glass bottle rolling against stone. You two make your way out, and you find Rune sitting there.
Don't tell me that you're all upset from our conversation last night.
No, not at all. I was simply wondering whether or not we want to follow the old man's advice and go in through the sewers. Do either of you remember if we'd gone in through the sewers in the last dream we had?
No, I don't remember. We were already in last time I had a dream about it.
The man we spoke to in town, he said to go through the back door. He made us a map. She looks to Almada.
No, it was through the sewers. If I recall correct, DM. Yeah.
The sewers were the back door.
Oh, yeah. So we were both right. And she'll show the map to the other two.
We have two people telling us to go through the back door. I think that this is
That's it.
the way.
Yep. I agree.
Very well.
You could take a vote on it if you'd like, Rune.
No, I don't need. I was asking just to see what you thought.
Bjorn also knows that we'd be heading there, and to switch it up now, if they are safe and they are going to meet us there, I do hope we find their face smiling to us when we reach the sewers.
This place bestows many strange gifts. I will not be surprised that we'll see the hide of him again one more time.
Bjorn blinks into existence, screaming at the top of his lungs, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," then blinks out again.
I didn't think it was going to be that literal.
I
Well,
think...
he wasn't. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Say something, because I'm going to do something.
Okay. I don't think he was smiling.
You guys see Altera instantly like shuffling through the bag and reaching and pulling out that orb of scrying, and her hand is shaking as she's holding it before her face. And she is focusing on the face of Bjorn as she looks into this orb.
As you do, you're met with a field of gray. White and black dots flickering. The image distorts You see Bjorn. Eyes rolled back. A mouth screaming in pain. The rest of his image distorted. White forms hover around him. And the harder you focus on it, the orb cracks.
She just kind of and like pulls it from her line of sight. And then you see her kind of staring into the mist, but she's not looking at the mist. It's like she's calculating something, reaching back into all those volumes of text she's read over the years, searching for an answer on what this place is. She knows that there are many planes in this world. Could I make a roll to maybe guess if she's in some other plane or if I know what could be going on?
Yeah, I would say so. Give me an intelligence roll.
Okay. I'm going to do this with an advantage. Glad I did that. I rolled 2 8s back to back.
How about that? With your 8s, the more you try to focus on it, think about it. You've heard of the plane between planes, where those that are dead or dying grasp at whatever they can in this realm of pain as they try to fight their way back to the living. That small space between life and death, that shadowed realm of existence. But you've never seen it like this. You've never seen the metal floors, the colored lights, odd sounds, and the white beings, almost luminescent, hovering around Bjorn. A very bright light.
Thank you.
That's all that you get.
I think you guys hear as Altera slips the orb back into her bag. She kind of says under her breath, "What foul magic is this?"
What'd you see?
I saw Bjorn. They were screaming. He was in pain. It's another plane, but it's like nothing I've seen before. All white figures, radiant. Perhaps they were angels. I don't know. They hovered above him. There was this bright light, almost blinding. Her eyes slowly lift to Rune. Don't know if Bjorn's coming back from there. But perhaps the barrier is thin, the veil lifted for just a second. I'm afraid you should pray to your God in hopes for his return, because I don't know any answers.
My God's not here, but there's a way we can get some answers, and he'll dig into his bag and he'll come out with a handful of bones that have runes carved into them, and he's gonna kneel down on the ground and clear a little space, and then he's going to take the bone runes and hold them in his hands and whisper a prayer, and then cast them. And I'm going to cast augury.
You're muted.
What is your question?
I will ask. I will ask whether proceeding through the sewers is the correct way to go.
Positive.
Well, regardless of where Bjorn is, regardless of anything else, the bones say that the path we are on is the correct one, at least for now. There's no sense in waiting any longer. We'll collect the bones and put them away.
And that's where we go.
Do you head to the castle?
I think,
Castle Grayskull?
yeah.
I have the power!
Altera looks to Amada. You have the map. Would you like to lead us?
I'd be happy to. And she marches on.
You follow the map, taking you through windy roads. Moving through the town seems to have taken on a different shape. Where before everything was straight lines, crossways. All the roads are curved now. Roundabouts. No straight lines. The buildings themselves even begin to warp a little bit as you look at them. But more importantly, every time you listen to hear people, you hear them, but you never see them. Just distant echoes within the fog. Pushing onward, you find yourself going up a road through the woods. And the whole time you feel more so than see. Something's watching you, studying you. And as you go up the road a little farther, you find on the map it says to cut off and drop down into a gully. And as you do, you drop down past the point of no return. You hear the neighing of a horse, the pulling of a carriage. This should be good. They've not got this far before. As you walk along the stony ridgeway to a drain opening, water slowly pouring out of it. The gate ajar just enough that you can grab a hold of it and with your combined might rip it off. Then it goes tumbling down and down and down and down and down. Into the sewers, you're met with that acrid smell of waste and runoff. The walls wet, damp, mold smell filling your senses. Rune, I need you to make a strength roll for me, please.
Why would you do that to me? Actually, it's not bad. Strength's good. I have a 17 on the dice, which is the same as my strength, actually.
You jut out your hand just as Bjorn reappears, falling from the sky, clasping your hands and looking up at you. Don't let go, you bastard!
Jeez, don't disappear again.
I've seen things.
Yeah, come on, get up. Pull him up.
He stands and he looks.
What the hell, Bjorn? Where have you been?
Ed,